from WBNE.
Howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs. I'm Tyler Carlin.
And I'm Ethan Chill.
And today we're honoring our parents.
Or maybe we're turning into big red monsters.
So go to your first concert
and become a woman.
Because today we're bringing you
Turning Red.
Ethan. Turning Red was directed by Domi Shi, which I'm certain I have pronounced incorrectly. It came out on March 11th, 2022, which is 5 days ago. Had a $175 million budget. Wasn't really a box office movie, though. It was.
Those aren't the right Rotten Tomato scores.
And I think I know the correct Rotten Tomato scores. I think it's an 85 critic and a 65 audience. And I don't know the Metacritic score on this.
That is a correct Metacritic score.
Oh, 83 on Metacritic, which is super high, which doesn't surprise me. This is one that even watching it, I was like, critics are going to like this.
Tyler, I will tell you, you were wrong. You were wrong on, what did you say?
85, 65?
85, 65. You got one digit right out of those four.
No way. What is it?
The first five.
Is it 95, 65?
You got one whole digit right.
Okay. What is it, Ethan?
It's 9572.
9572. Okay.
But you got the five right.
Yeah.
Not the second six and the second five.
Also, by the way, we are joined this week by a woman who has experienced early womanhood and beyond. Well, that's what she's known for, having experienced early womanhood and beyond. Welcome to the show.
Pubertist, Candace Clifford.
Post-adolescent, Candace Clifford joins the show. She's also amazing in every way. She's a Team USA roller figure skater. She has a TikTok account. She's a screenwriter. She's super interesting, and I'm super excited she's back on the show.
Hello, I'm really happy to be back and experienced pubertist. I think
I'm hoping to God that was a verb I invented for the first time ever.
You may have. I need that to be in bios. I need a t-shirt because I'm an experienced pubertist.
I have bought pads for me.
Oh my God. That's just too good. Wow. Oh.
I think that was the only, because what you did was it started a sentence with "we're joined by a woman," and then you realized you had to bail out of that and bailed as hard as humanly possible.
So we jumped to experienced pubertist. I mean, I really have the background and knowledge to talk about this subject matter. So,
I'm so glad you do, because this 80 or 107 minutes or whatever it was of Turning Red, I think is the most exposure I've ever had to this topic. And I'm married and have a daughter.
You need to watch Big Mouth. That will enlighten you.
We watched the pilot of Big Mouth, and I was like, I don't know about this animation style, but this is hilarious. So that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Okay, fair enough. The animation style is very cringy, but
they gotta have the big mouths, right? Like that's
they
the whole
gotta
thing.
have the big mouths. But also, I mean, much like some of the things in Turning Red, where it's like, this is cringy. It's for a reason. It's because this is like the cringiest part of life. It is the most uncomfortable part of life that nobody talks about.
It was very eye-opening to me to see this character going through something I know has never been represented to me before, but is nailing it every step of the way.
Yeah.
And I didn't experience. Do you know what I mean? Like it was really, really cool to see. I want to talk more about that. Before we do, let's get some professional reviews in here. Ethan, do you have a negative review from Richard Roper as the Chicago Sun-Times?
I'm not going to read Richard Roper's review.
Oh, we all have already. It's okay.
Richard Roper is probably for a movie that gets a 95% and Richard Roeper not to like it, says a lot more about Richard Roeper, I think, than it does the movie.
He usually is on our side. Yeah.
Yeah. He usually likes things, known liker of things.
Yeah.
And his review is just sort of rude. I've read most of it actually, and it's not like, doesn't make me happy. It doesn't spark joy. So I'm going to read a review from Phil Villarreal from ABC Tucson, who says, feels like a B-team Pixar effort that will quickly be relegated to the bottom of your app queue.
That sounds like a man's review of this movie.
Well, see, here's the thing, though, is if we are to be believed about how Pixar operates, it is quite literally a B-team Pixar movie designed to make you watch it once on the app.
You think that that's what this is?
Well, if they had, because they're notorious for having an A-team and a B-team, and I can tell you between Turning Red and Lightyear, which one the A-team's working on.
That's true. That's true. And it is. Yeah.
You have a professional positive review here for me.
I do. I've got Wendy Ide here from The Observer in the UK.
Oh no. Here it goes.
Turning Red is a fizzing, squeaking adolescent explosion of a movie that nails a fundamental truth about growing up.
Oh, I guess this is growing up, ain't it?
I guess this is growing up, isn't it?
Candace, our esteemed guest, 0 out of 100 on Turning Red.
I'd give it probably like a 79.
79.
I know. I think the plot wasn't as balanced as I wanted it to. Like, talking from that kind of perspective, there's so many things I love about this movie. There's a couple things that didn't work for me, mainly just like plot balance.
Are you coming into like the score as like you are a senior thesis level professor and your student just presented this to you and you're like, well, yeah, I mean,
no.
Okay.
It was
And
more,
if you're a
I'm
professor,
coming into it more.
if you're a professor and your student hands you a fully developed Pixar movie, that's called, if it's an actual Pixar movie, that's just plagiarism, but also pass that kid. That's hilarious.
No,
my student film, Finding Dory.
They're gonna be like, hold on a second.
I've seen this one.
But yeah, if you're a films professor whose student hands them a solo made Pixar movie, hire that person.
79. Okay, I can work with the 79.
It's honestly more just because of like there were certain points where I think it lulled and then picked back up, and it's not really thesis wise. It's more like emotionally. There was like a time where I was like, and then it picked back up. I'm like, okay, we're good.
And we're back. There it is.
And we're back. Okay, I'm connected.
I have some similar issues as well, but I want to know Ethan's score first.
No, I want to know Tyler's score first. I think Tyler thinks lower than 79.
Interesting. I have been torn on my score for this one.
A lot of people have.
Because this goes back to, there was, I think, a very valid argument for Captain Marvel, which I enjoyed. But there was an argument people made that was like, I don't dislike this because I dislike the themes represented. I'm actually jazzed about the themes and what this means for the future of cinema. I just didn't like this because I thought it was paced poorly, or I didn't like the script, or for whatever reason. And I think that argument was so hard to make for people because it's very hard to present it in a way that doesn't sound like I didn't like this because it was about a badass woman. Which is not how I feel here. I had some pacing issues more than anything else. I think, and as you and I are on the same page there. But I love that it exists. I'm actually going to go above a 79 and go to 84.
I'm going to go for 85.
Nice.
We're all kind of in agreement here.
Yeah, I mean, it was really good. I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. And I think that my 85 sort of maybe stands higher than some people's like 90 odds, right? Because like There are plenty of the Pixar fans who are like, yeah, I mean, this is obviously a 100%er, but like it's less of a 100%er than 14 other Pixar movies.
Right.
Yes.
No, I like this movie a lot. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. I feel like people are misrepresenting it entirely because I hear a lot of people talking about like, oh my God, it's so anime. I didn't love it because of that.
Anime.
Or I don't think it never felt anime to me. Like a couple times, maybe. I don't watch anime, and I don't like anime, and I don't really like people that like anime all that much usually. Here's my thing: if you're gonna tell me, oh, go watch Sword Art Online, but skip episodes 4, 5, 7, 43 through 80, 78 to 207, and then just all of seasons 24 through 86. And I'm like, oh, okay, so your show
don't
sucks.
Watch it. Right.
Yeah, so don't watch it. But anyway, that's what you're talking about. This felt as much like anime as it did like the Fairly Odd Parents to me. Like there was a very like Saturday morning cartoons vibe.
This was anime through and through.
Okay, but it wasn't. It was like well done.
This is like Pixar does anime.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't mean it's bad. I've seen good anime.
Naruto's like 2 frames the whole time. He's a paper doll, basically.
Yes,
but I mean, it had like its moments of anime too, where it was like very intentional, like the big eyes when they would change the animation of the eyes. And to me, it didn't feel like anime. It kind of felt like we're gonna sprinkle in things just that have to do with anime that'll make you feel like you understand this character's like love of this kind of art and this kind of style, like her drawings.
Oh my gosh, the anime girl drawing like hentai of her with the dude from the record shop.
Not quite.
He was a mermaid. He didn't have tentacles.
The tentacles are not inherent in
hold on. Let's get our definition straight.
That's future
according to the Supreme Court
fanfic
about pornography. I'll know it when I see it.
I just like that. Did Candace? I'm not going to ask if you did this because I don't want to know. But did little girls do this?
Absolutely.
No, that's not real.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, like I saw a bunch of people on Twitter in the past 4 days being like, anybody who complains about this movie's realism clearly was never a 13-year-old girl ever.
Nope.
I saw that as well.
And girls being like, yeah, I used to make like fan art of me and Legolas getting it on when I was 13. It's like,
stop.
I saw that. I saw someone tweet that. No, I mean, I didn't specifically draw like mermen and stuff, but I definitely drew like my ideal like skater boy or like just random boys I had like I would kind of like take their features, I'd draw them and like draw like I swear to God the Bieber cut, everything. Like, these guys, they had all of it, whole 9 yards, skinny jeans, Converse.
I drew these as well, but I didn't draw them as mermaids. I just thought the haircut looked cool.
The wild thing?
To each their own. I didn't draw the mermaids. I would just draw the boys.
Pants. You wanted them to have pants.
They had pants. They had legs.
I mean, how if a mermaid wore skinny jeans, would they wear it like this? Yeah, the thing I love about the mermaids, or maybe the mermen, or maybe the thing I don't love is that it never came back ever. Like,
yeah, like
it's not like she has mermaids and mermen all over the place. She was just like, this fits the vibe.
So Ian, you've had this long-standing theory for the past 2 weeks that like every movie is a beautiful mind.
Okay,
this is the first one we've watched where I'm like, yep, she imagined all of this in her head.
Perfect explanation, perfectly reasonable explanation for everything.
Yeah, like because and there's a few moments. This is my theory. There is no red panda. Okay, there is no giant red panda from the mom. It doesn't exist. I have a theory as to what I think it is, and I'll talk about it in the hash browns because I don't think it's appropriate for the main show.
Interesting.
Yeah, so patreon.com/Baconandeggs if you want to hear what Tyler thinks this movie's really about. I'll
tell you what I think this movie's really about for free. But
Well, okay. Lucky
But also,
you.
I don't think it's. I don't think it's really about. My really about is inappropriate.
Oh,
Unless you're
mine.
in Florida.
I think mine is.
That's fair.
I think
Tyler,
mine.
do you think it's a wet dream? I just have to ask.
No.
Okay. It's like,
Do girls do that?
I mean, not like. I mean,
I'll tell you. I can tell you some very personal facts about this particular question. The girls don't do that, right? That's not a thing. We definitely didn't learn that in health class.
I learned a lot about girls in health classes.
We didn't learn anything about girls in health class.
No,
I was in college.
Yeah, they took them out of the room for health class.
Yeah, I was in college when I learned that like a tampon comes apart.
No, so I mean, it's not quite like the same, but I mean, girls, we do dream and have fantasies and stuff, and then you can wake up
I see
in the morning and be a little bit more
wicked personal. This isn't like I don't enjoy those circumstances. It's always an unpleasant experience.
I'm so
Ethan
glad I got
vouch for
asked
me.
to talk
Come on,
about
Ethan.
this movie.
This.
Let's get back to the movie, please, God.
So what I really think it is, I think it is all in her head. I don't think it because there's one specific moment that convinces me that she's not actually turning into a panda. And it's when Tyler's parents show up, which, by the way, shout out to Disney and Pixar for putting a middle schooler in this movie named Tyler and for him royally sucking. That is such a shout out to middle school Tyler. I love that.
That was for you.
That was absolutely for me. But they say she's an animal, but they don't come out and say your daughter transforms into a giant red panda. What the actual fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just say she's an animal, which leads me to believe that, like, if a giant red panda jumped on 13-year-old Tyler, Tyler's dead. All right. I was a 13-year-old Tyler. If there was a giant, larger than me bear that jumped on me, even at 29, dead.
Fair enough argument.
From a roof?
I also think it's an animated movie. And some logic goes out the door with animation movies.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Like, I don't think monsters literally come through doors to do their jobs and get paid to scare people. But,
Well, obviously, they get paid to make them laugh.
well, they do now. I mean, in the
Yeah,
past,
and you can go to Disney World and go to the scare floor. So,
but this is the
or
thing.
the laugh floor.
This is sort of why I don't love this movie, is because I think it is like we were edging on this with Luca, but I think this one is too human.
I see what you mean.
Like, because Pixar movies are like myths, right? Like they explain something about the world.
Yeah.
Menstrual cycles.
Especially ones like Monsters Inc., right? Because like nobody would ever think to go to Monsters Inc. and be like, did that really happen? Like,
yeah,
obviously not. It's a movie, right? But like, you're not the first person I've seen to do this. These like, what really happened to Mei Lin Lee? Like, she's a real person that exists.
I've seen like 4 like different articles through different crappy sites that are like, oh, let's figure it out. And if you just go on to Disney Plus and watch the Embrace the Panda thing, it literally starts off with, this is a metaphor.
Right.
No way.
Yeah, it's like one of the first things like the director talks about. She goes, so it's a metaphor. Like, that's one of the first things the director says, because it's a metaphor for just puberty.
Yeah.
Like not
And
even
like,
specifically like a woman's period, although there's the joke in there. It's not even specifically about that. It's just puberty.
Right. I think we've been ragging on that a little bit, but I do think it is more than just her menstrual cycle. I think that's sort of the red pandas visiting type conversation. But yeah, I think it is so much more than that. I think that's kind of what they're explaining is like a woman going through puberty is more than her menstrual cycle. It's hormonal, it's challenging, it's monstrous.
Yeah. To be honest, it's not even clear if like she actually did start her period.
That's
like
true.
that, like there's the joke because the mom, like that's what the mom thinks it is,
Right.
but she doesn't actually like tell her mom like no, that's not it. But she doesn't also she doesn't confirm or deny that the period actually happened. She just turned into a red panda and is stinky and hairy and all this stuff that also comes with puberty. But it's a metaphor, and I love that the period joke's in there. But I've seen a lot of articles of people just discussing like, oh, this is a movie about someone getting their period. I'm like, it's no. Technically, I don't even think she got her period. It's literally just about the other parts of puberty.
Well, I mean, either she didn't and is actually turning into a red panda, or she isn't and did get her period. Right? Like,
yeah.
But I truly think Pixar movies
are on the cusp of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I truly think Pixar movies are designed to be taken literally at face value, like especially within the context of the story.
Yeah,
right?
me too.
Of like, you know, she obviously it really happened to her because it's not that she's not real, like she's not like she's a character in fiction. She is, you know, Zeus here. Like she is a myth, just like every other Pixar character, right? Like nobody would be like did Lightning McQueen actually win races, or was it a guy winning races and just feeling like he was Speed?
Exactly.
We
take them at face value, but that's.
Are you telling me that Timothy Chalamet in Call Me by Your Name is a sea monster?
100%. 100%. Yes. 100%.
Yeah, we weren't questioning that. We weren't.
Yeah. Army Hammer might be a sea monster.
Clearly, you didn't watch the same Call Me by Your Name as I did.
No, I saw some sea monster type stuff. I think he had a notebook with a drawing of Army Hammer as a mermaid for sure.
Absolutely.
Because he would have been 17. That's like a Asian girl's 13, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. If you do the mental math there, yeah, that's
either way, it was inappropriate for Army Hammer to be so interested, you know?
Absolutely. But going back to what you were saying, Ethan, like where most of the time everything in the Pixar film feels very like this is fantasy. This was so grounded in reality. It's Toronto. It's 2002. Like they very specifically narrowed in on that year, which I do love about the film. But they made it so grounded in reality that it was like it's not like shocking that there's the fantasy part of there, but that's what kind of throws it for a loop. Same with Luca. It was so grounded in Italy. Like every little detail was like, this is Italy, that it threw it a little bit. I don't think it's really a bad thing because I can tell it's the filmmakers paying homage to what they love. Like this is clearly a very personal piece for these creatives. Specifically the director. She's the same one that this is her first feature, but she was the same one that did the short Bow.
Yeah.
Like you can tell. Yeah. Yeah, that was kind of her training wheels with Disney Animation. And then they're like, all right, here's a feature. There's her first feature.
And there's that one scene that they show in the beginning of her father cooking.
The food.
And it's like incredible.
Oh,
and then again,
so
never comes up again until the end. They're like, oh, your dad's cooking's incredible.
I want to argue that the mermaid does come up a couple times throughout the movie.
Does it?
Well, so like she has the mermaid drawing, and then in her nightmares, there's also the mermaid flopping there. And
God, you're right.
There's a couple other moments with mermaids.
So
like it's not, and then there's one of the band members is a mermaid in like some music video or some shot of him. One of the band members is a mermaid. So like it happens a couple times. There's mermaids. That's where she got the idea, is from one of the oh my gosh, the band's name is
Four Town.
I was like, what is it? Four Town with 5 members. Love it.
I literally, this is how I knew I was getting too old for this movie, is because when I first saw them, I was like, Four Town, but there's 5 of them. That's a stupid name. And then literally in the movie, the mom is like, why are they called Four Town if there's 5 of them? And I was like, damn.
She got you, man.
I'm
got
old. I turned 29 on Friday.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Candace, what's it like being so young and hanging out with us old men?
Well, I'm 25. My joints feel like they're in their mid 40s because
sure.
of skating.
Wait a minute, but wouldn't skating be pretty like better than running, right?
Yeah, it is, but not just my knees. Like we're talking hips, knees, like everything in my body. I stand up and something has to crack. So my
People's
body
skulls.
Yeah. But no, I honestly, and I don't know. Most of my friends are older anyway. Most people mistake me for like 29 or 28.
It's very rare that I talk to anybody that's younger than me, unless it's literally everybody I talk to. So, I know how you feel.
I just, I only live my own life, right? Like I've only lived one life. So everybody's 28 as far as I'm concerned, because they all know all the things that I know, right?
They all know everything I know and everything that I'm learning. They have already learned.
Yeah.
That's how I experience the world. Everyone is just a little bit better than me.
Yeah, but like they can't know things that I don't know, because like then I would know them.
Right. So Ethan, I do want to tell you, like you Ethan are like a brain in a vat, and we are all figments of your imagination.
Yeah.
None of this is real.
That's what I just said. It's nobody can know things that I don't know, because then I'd have to know them.
Exactly. I'm just
in my
confirming
head,
for you.
That was honestly one of the most like imposter syndrome moments I've ever had. It's like not imposter syndrome, and I don't think I deserve my station in life, but that I might be a simulation is because I just said out loud, there's no way people can know things I don't know, because then I would know them. And that made sense somehow.
So I do want to, this is a throwback to early Bacon and Eggs. Today's episode is sponsored to you by Rockstar Energy.
Are you actually drinking a Rockstar?
I'm drinking a Rockstar Energy.
No.
Because this movie's about a 13-year-old girl. And when I was a 13-year-old.
pulls out an Evian.
Evian. Oh, yes, here in Portugal. We drink Evian.
Actually, it's Vitalis.
Oh, man. It looked just like Evian.
It does look like an Evian. It's not an Evian.
When I was 13 years old, this is a Halo Infinity Edition Rockstar. This would have been the greatest thing to ever exist. I turned 13 in like 05. So that would have been like the announcement of Halo 2 was coming. Oh, yeah.
Halo 2 is 2004.
Okay, then we would have been playing
Halo 1
2.
was 2004. Halo 2 is 2007. Sorry.
It was we were in
brain broke. No,
I remember.
Yeah, no, I was right.
Look it up.
It's 2001, 2004, 2007.
Look it up.
Final answer. And then,
Right.
then that abomination that was Halo Reach.
Halo Reach slaps. Halo ODST was so. But it had a good pistol.
Yeah,
I
but
liked
like it invented Firefight.
That was my favorite. There's no way Halo came out in 2001.
Halo 2 is November 9th, 2004.
Oh my God.
Oh, there went Candace.
I'm
Nope,
still here.
Candace
Sorry.
back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Cool,
November
cool,
15th, 2001 was Halo 1.
So yeah, we would have been like right in the middle of our Halo days.
Yeah. So it sounds like would, some of the guys that went to middle school with
Malin.
yeah.
Yeah, they didn't even mention Halo. They were talking about tech decks and Tamagotchis, and
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
girls didn't play Halo as much.
That's true.
I
Not
know
these
that
kind of
was like a
girls.
thing. Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure some girls did, but not these kind of girls, not the main characters. These ones did not play Halo.
well, these girls weren't main characters in 2002.
No, yeah, that's why they had to have a movie made about them in 2022.
Yes.
Right.
Because they made a movie
It
like the
took
next year called
20
Mean
years.
Girls about one of these people, sort of.
Yeah.
Sort
No, I
That
think
was
Janice
actually-
fit the mold here.
Oh yeah, Janice. We love Janice. But I saw some article that was just kind of talking about the girls in this film, and it brought up a good point where a lot of films about middle school and high school, the girls are always this like the pretty girl the guy can't talk to. That's like
Right.
something that's always been the case. Like they're always the pretty girl the guy can't talk.
We
pretty
just
girl.
watched Jennifer's Body, and that was the pretty girl that would eat you alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would. But it's just a very interesting stereotype. And then you'll always have like the awkward girls, but they're like literally the most side character, probably doesn't even have a line. It's just that goth girl in the corner. Janice is our exception here. But that's just something that you see all the time. And so in this film, it was kind of the opposite, where it was like, it wasn't this unapproachable goddess of a girl. Like the main characters were all girls that eventually became friends with Tyler. And it wasn't like he had to like weasel his way in. They saw that he had similar interests and they're like, oh, dude, join us.
Listen,
you're awesome. Like that was
they would have been
arc.
friends at the concert. Okay. I'm sorry to interrupt. They would have been friends at the concert if there wasn't a giant panda battle that resulted in all of them meeting the band, like a proper trauma to bring them all together. I think the concert was on like a Tuesday. Come Wednesday at school, Tyler denies everything about this interaction.
Absolutely all of it. Yeah.
Probably.
Absolutely all of it. If
There's
now the panda apocalypse, people are going to talk about that. Tyler's probably going to own up not because he likes Malin as a friend or romantic interest, but because he can get clout out of this.
He was there.
He was there
at Pandapocalypse. That's for sure. Nobody can
I
deny
think-
that.
But
I wasn't even at Winter Jam.
That's true. But I don't know. Part of it also just seemed like it was like that little breaking barrier moment where it was like he could be friends with them. It's not awkward. And it's not, even though he's kind of like the shit character for a little bit, it also just showed that possibility where it was like the girls were still like accepting and open and they were like,
the friends were great.
Yeah. Oh, they were awesome.
Here's where it sort of breaks down for me, Candace, and if you can correct me if I'm wrong with this, but based on my experience in this era and since around women, like these are modern friendships set on a non-modern setting. It seems like
I don't doubt that there would have been a found family element to like a teenager pre-cell phone.
Yeah, no, I disagree with that, Ethan, because honestly, watching these girls and like their interactions and like literally this was how I felt when I was a kid. Like I had these friendships that were really goofy and we would videotape us doing weird shit and we were like I felt like I was a different person when I was with my friends than when I was with my parents, and for like slightly different reasons than our main character here. But like, I mean, like I had my skating life and then I had my school life, and like my life was in different factions.
Sure.
So like watching this, I was like, I had my friends that I was super goofy and weird with, and we did all this weird, awkward stuff, and we had our video, I didn't have a Tamagotchi, but we had our video games, and we had, I don't know, like it felt very much like my friend dynamic when I was their age, and I was like, oh, this is good. This is exactly what it was like. But I mean, it could be different now, friend dynamics now, because now there's phones, now there's all this stuff, but it felt very much grounded in the proper time.
Well,
yeah, I even feel like we had that, Ethan, because we had like, there was a time, it would have been a little older than this, but 13 is right about when it would have started, where like we were doing sleepovers with like 10 to 15 people
right
every weekend.
Yeah, but if I had started turning into a giant bread panda, y'all would have been fucking.
Ethan, you literally did.
No, I didn't.
Ethan, you threw a phone at the wall and you punched John in the face. You absolutely did.
Okay.
Listen, man, we all had our giant red panda moments, but you absolutely did.
That's not okay. Not really where I was going with this.
So if we're comparing it to real life,
and you know what, y'all were less than helpful in any of those situations.
I
know we
were.
Yeah, so that's the point I'm making, though, is that like, sure, yeah, we were tight, we had sleepovers, but I don't think that your love would have saved me from the panda.
I agree and understand what you're saying now. because so their friend group is very accepting and very I understand this. When I was in middle school, if something crazy and weird would have happened like this, I don't know how accepting my friend group would have been, because these are very progressive characters, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that was sort of what I was getting.
I'm picking up on it now. I'm picking up what you put down.
It's like not that girls weren't goofy and silly. It's that like, tell your friends you love them and that you would die for them is a modern idea.
The way I kind of understood it is when she was turning into the Red Panda, the perception from her friends was that in this process of entering womanhood, if we're talking about the metaphor, in this process of entering womanhood, she sort of developed from an innocent looking child to like an adorable and attractive young woman. And her friends were very accepting of that. And her mother didn't know how to handle that. And her mother saw her, if she is attractive and desirable, then she is in danger and a danger to others. And her friends saw her as like, not like, we're proud of you, queen, get it, but like, this is great. You're growing into a woman and you're becoming beautiful, and you're not just becoming a child who is beautiful, you're becoming a beautiful woman. And that was kind of my take on like what that meant. And I think that like that was something we didn't experience in middle and high school, but like, because guys don't talk to each other about their appearance, and guys don't like, there was no commenting on that whatsoever, but there was definitely young women who, would hit that stride first and would develop in that way first before other girls in their friend group did.
I still think I do agree with Ethan, actually, that their response was a bit more modern, because like thinking back to like when everybody started to change in that awkward, terrible 7th to 8th grade time of our lives, there were the ones like the people you were closer with. I feel like their version of accepting it was, we're not going to really talk about it, but bullies' version of like being mean to you was to pick on those things and to pry on those things, like, oh, this is changing, I'm going to point it out and make you super uncomfortable.
Right.
Whereas friends that were close, we just didn't really talk about it. We didn't really talk about it. We didn't really address it too much. But yeah, I think I like that they went this route, though, with a more modern way that the friends would react to it. And I do agree with you, Tyler, though, that like I really love that it wasn't just like, oh, like, you're so badass and this is so cool. It was like the one friend in particular, the one in green with the braces, who the mom,
Isaac Carlson. That's all I saw the whole time. That's all I saw. Miriam is her name.
Miriam, that was it. I was like, she had a very interesting name. Miriam.
What is happening?
She closed the thing.
Okay. I think her computer died.
My computer just died with the good audio.
Oh no.
Sorry, hold on.
No worries.
Gotta get the good audio back. Everything's dying. Shit. Ooh, just shocked myself.
No,
almost done. Hold on. I'm sorry.
Take your time. You're fine.
Just edit this out.
Probably, yeah.
No, keep it in. Somebody start singing. Make it interesting.
I went to a professional networking event today, and the president of the group that was there,
the United States of America. You met Joe Biden?
I met Joe Biden, and he sang Danny Boy to the whole crowd.
Oh.
Why?
Because it's St. Patrick's Day.
Thursday.
Well, they're not going to meet again between now and April 14th.
I mean, that's fair.
And they said that every day leading up to St. Patrick's Day for a week and a week after is the High Holy Week. So it's 14 days of High Holy Week, which I was like, actually, that's pretty freaking cool. I'm not a Catholic or anything, but that sounds cool to me. I love that Far Side comic. Let me tell you about this one. That Far Side comic where it says like Catholics Anonymous. And there's a whole bunch of priests sitting there and then a woman with a bunch of cats. And the caption is something like, I think I came to the wrong meeting.
It's Catholics.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No, Jesus cannot save you from that problem.
Jesus can save, my brother.
Jesus could save.
Jesus can save your brother.
No, you're my brother.
And you need me to be saved by Christ.
You've been saved. You done bathed in the body and blood of Jesus.
Almost back.
Terrified.
Who's terrified? You're terrified?
I said it's terrifying.
What's terrifying?
You saying bathe in the blood of Jesus.
Here's my question. If you took a bath with red wine, would you need to put in Mr. Bubble lavender scent or no? Would it just naturally be bubbly?
If you bathed in like
are we talking like
Moscato?
champagne?
No, I'm talking both of those are white wines. They're both sparkling, but they're
You
white.
did say red.
And I said red. I'm talking
No,
about
You
like
did
a,
specify.
Like the barefoot bubbly pink Moscato.
no, I'm talking about like a not barefoot, giant 47-pound rooster Pinot Noir.
Is it bubbly? No.
No, but I mean, if you pour it from a height, like bubbles appear.
Yeah, but they also disappear.
If you aerate, that's what that's called. Aeration.
Like it would hold on to the bubbles longer than water, which is zero, like unadulterated water, but it would hold on less than soap. That's for sure. It does.
If you put the soap, if you put the soap in it, what
wine does it get like a
happens
head?
next? Ooh, if you took a bath in a New England style IPA, do you need bubble bath?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I think you get a yeast infection,
Almost
regardless of who
definitely.
you are.
But like, what is a bubble bath if not, a good head for your bath? You get that perfect pour.
Right.
Oh,
You got to go to the Scrubbing Bubbles factory and take a tour, and they got us not Scrubbing Bubbles. Scrubbing Bubbles is bathroom cleaner. Don't bathe in that, please. Don't bathe in anything that isn't water.
Hold on.
the
What
wild
if we
bunny
opened-
trail.
What if we opened a bathtub themed brewery?
Whatever brewery
Like-
made like rubber ducky lager and shower beer, I think is ahead of you on that.
No. We're taking it like a step further. We've got like
Like
Rub-a-Dub IPA. We've got shampoo stout. And here's the
Talking
kicker.
about like Buds and Suds.
yeah,
brewery.
Buds and Suds Brewery.
good name.
Actually,
Good name.
we're opening it.
This town literally ain't big enough for that.
Yes, it is. This is one of the great beer towns.
No, it was, and now most of them have failed.
Shh.
You're just gonna have to come
Been
to Anaheim.
replaced.
If we go to Anaheim, we can absolutely do this.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It is a little hub of craft breweries. It's amazing.
Ethan and I even wear Salesforce ones. So I think we'd fit right in California.
We wear what?
I saw a TikTok today where somebody was talking about Allbirds and called them Salesforce ones because everybody who works in that world.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's pretty good. I do. I got the high tops right now.
I've only ever had one pair. Anyway,
I've had 3.
Candace, are you having fun on Bacon and Eggs?
I'm having so much fun. This
Candace-
was the wildest bunny trail
That's for
to
sure.
ever.
Tell us, don't bathe in red wine or scrubbing bubbles or New England style IPA. If you have to bathe in any of those three things, I would probably pick New England style IPA.
I would pick red wine every day of the week. This
No,
isn't
sir.
even a competition.
That's gonna
It's gonna dye your skin.
It's gonna dye your skin. It's probably gonna burn you, my dude.
Okay, New England style IPA is going to make like your fingernails have yeast infections.
Probably just you can take a shower afterward.
I think I'm
just thinking of the one that's not like literally an acid. Like,
yeah, I guess. So you think the scrubbing bubbles is out, right?
oh, definitely.
Fuck, marry, kill, scrubbing bubbles.
You got to kill
Giant
scrubbing bubbles.
47 Rooster, Pinot Noir, and Twisted Track New England style IPA.
Yeah, you got to kill scrubbing bubbles in that, man. That is not good for you. I'm pretty
No.
sure on the can it's like, don't touch this.
Which one do you marry, though? I think you have two really good options for long-term partner here.
Oh,
I would marry the Pinot Noir.
Yeah, if it's Twisted Track New England style IPA.
So you're telling me you would marry a mass-produced garbage red wine over a
so
craft
Rex Goliath Giant 47-pound Rooster Pinot Noir is better than New England style IPA from Twisted Track, because the New England style IPA from Twisted Track is their worst beer. It's not even a New England style IPA. It's less hazy than the regular IPA.
You know what I think when I think hazy? Boston
They mix
Tea
them up.
Party.
Anyway,
What?
Candace, can you tell us about how you felt about this movie? What did you love? What did you hate? What was your favorite part? What was your least favorite part?
I think the biggest thing I loved was how absolutely awkward and weird the girls were. It kind of just hit the nail on the head, because even the cool girls in middle school, all of us were weird. Nobody knew what was going on.
Whoa. I've interrupted you a lot. People listening to the show are like, Tyler, stop interrupting that nice girl. I'm sorry. Just rewind for a second. Even the popular girls, like, we were all... Even the popular girls, Are you claiming popularity in middle school?
No. I said even. I'm not claiming popularity in middle school. I was weird. I was not invited to birthday parties. But what I'm saying is, like, even the popular girls did not fully understand how to handle any of this stuff. They were really awkward with tampons. Everyone was awkward. Everyone was just awkward in their own ways. Some tried to just play it off.
If you are a female presenting middle school teacher, do little girls ask you to help them in the bathroom?
Oh no, I don't think any of us had the guts to ask a teacher to help them in the bathroom.
I know when I was in kindergarten, at least once.
Well, that's young.
At least once I asked for help.
That's kindergarten.
That's kindergarten. Yeah, that's expected. I think in kindergarten.
Not with a tampon, with poop.
I remember in kindergarten I had to ask for help because Parks Talbot barfed on the floor during nap time.
Oh no, I have a better one. And I think it was exactly kindergarten. I had to ask for help because I had a splinter in my butt.
Oh no.
From the playground, it was like a wood structure, and I like sat down and like slid on it, and they had to call my parents to come because there was a splinter like that big in my butt.
In your butt.
In my butt. Not very pleasant. But yeah, that's different. That's kindergarten. Middle school, it doesn't matter if you are the popular one or the less popular one. Like, everybody doesn't really want to fess up to anything going on, because then, like, I think I remember middle school and like puberty and everything as being this thing that you just don't talk about. And like, if you're going through it, keep it to yourself. Don't tell people about it. Don't like open up about it. That's why like the friends that were closer to me didn't really bring it up, because it was like, don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Now
this is an epidemic. I just interrupted you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Now it's just nice to see things like this. Like, Turning Red, showing kids like it's okay to talk about it, especially with your closest friends. And it's okay that you're going through this because we all go through this. That's probably what I like the most about this film. My probably second favorite are the aunties, even though they have such a small part. That's probably my biggest gripe. I wanted more of the aunties because that entrance that they animated for the aunties was absolutely phenomenal. That dramatic entrance with the shoes coming down and then bursting through the doors. I wanted so much more of the aunties, and I wanted them to build up the grandma more. I think that was my biggest issue with the film, is that the big bad really wasn't Maylee's mom. It was going kind of Encanto style, that generational trauma. It started further back, and it was still.
My mom keeps saying she doesn't like these new Disney movies. Maybe it's because they keep making the grandmother the villain.
It's just pointing out certain things that that people don't want to talk about, but these movies are like, guess what, we're going to talk about it. But it's
off topic. Is in the room of either of you, is there a mouse crawling over a pack of peanut M&Ms?
What?
It's Candace's mic.
Okay. Oh, it's rubbing against her shirt.
Oh shit.
That's
exactly what it sounded like.
It just started since you. No, it's fine. It just started since you. Since you got back on the call, but yeah, every time you moved your head, it was like.
It literally sounded like a mouse, like just heavy enough to shift the weight in the.
This is why I can't do stuff like this, because I move around too much.
It's
and it
totally
affects
fine.
stuff.
It's like it was so like just inside of my brain.
It's totally fine. Also, you're talking about you
so
moving
bad.
around so much. My wife recently, we've been in situations where we should sit still, which that should be fine, right? We were at a funeral, and I should have been sitting still. And this happened again a few weeks prior. We were some solemn thing. And she keeps leaning over to me and being like, Tyler, you have to sit still. You can't move around that much. And like, this is 100% news to me. Like, what do you mean I can't move around?
Yeah, I shift constantly.
I'm always, I didn't even know I was moving. I'm moving.
All
I
the
do
time.
I do the leg shake thing.
You do the leg shake.
That one was
like,
Yeah.
He does it at restaurants.
And people will be like, you gotta fucking stop that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, the leg. And I'm like, I'm not
look at that.
Look at
And
that.
then-
I am
and then-
shaking my leg.
And then he'll say, this is the way he says, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Stop. Why
He
are we
takes a little
just coming
sip.
for young me today?
Young you, even you still sore sodas in your cheeks. There's no shame in it. I need you to own it and be
But
proud
this is
of
the
it.
thing you have been bullying me about since we were 10.
This is like your America's Got Talent. Like you show up and Howie's like, hey buddy, what's your talent? And you're like, check this out. You take a little sip of the water Nick Cannon gave you. And then you just do a comedy routine with water in your cheeks.
I'm the world's worst ventriloquist. I can project my own voice through my own mouth.
Like, I don't need a dummy. I am.
I don't need a dummy. I am the dummy. That's your act. You come out and Howie Mandel says, tell us about your act. Did you just go, I am the dummy?
But no, that was the point I was going to make earlier, is that like, if we take it literally and one of the people in the friend group had literally started turning into a giant 10-foot tall panda, you can't write down the words we would have called each other anymore. Right? Like
No.
this is
No,
what I
we
was
were
saying
calling each other.
about
Listen,
them modernizing it. Like you simply can't say the things that we were saying to each other.
However, this
yeah.
is also a PG movie.
Absolutely.
Go watch Big Mouth and you'll see the things that people actually call each other.
oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God.
Well, we were culprits of this. We were 100% part of the problem. We were in our Halo phase. Okay.
Oh yeah. Anybody who
Yeah.
Anybody who says that they've never said something horrible in their life has never played Halo Online.
Or Call of Duty or
Never been
any
in a Call of Duty lobby.
Yeah.
All the rules are off at that point.
Ugh.
Like, I'm not proud of it. I don't think any of us are proud of it. We don't do it anymore. But like, cool.
But middle schoolers are cruel.
Absolutely. There's
They
a
are.
John Mulaney bit about this.
That's why John Mulaney helps write Big Mouth.
Yeah.
Because that's just
Because he hates middle schoolers with a passion.
they're cruel.
Everybody knows
but they're
that's-
also just a mess. Like they're cruel because nobody actually knows what's going on, and that's
Right.
what they revert to is
Yeah.
cruelty, and that's why they're the worst age group.
I mean, yeah, just imagine waking up one day and all of a sudden, not just mom and dad don't have any answers. Nobody has any answers.
Nobody's ever experienced any of this before.
Well, and they have, but like there's such a short-sightedness when it comes to what puberty was like. I think the most heartbroken I've ever been was in like 7th grade. Rachel Gilbert broke up with me after one day. But I think for the 24 hours that we were together, I thought of literally nothing else. Literally nothing else. Like my wedding day, I thought about bacon wrap dates and my wife. This day, nothing but Rachel. And I know it's true because I went camping with my dad that night. And my dad was like, Tyler, why are you being so distant? And I was like, I'm just happy, man.
Life's
I'm just
good,
living the
John.
dream.
Life's good.
I'm good. I'm good. You know,
Listeners, if you want to understand what Tyler was like about women at this age, I believe this is the same year that I was voted off the lunch table because I didn't have a girlfriend.
I was very
Oh.
awful. That's the worst.
Like, and at no point. So I do actually want to get back to something here. A lot of people I know are having trouble relating to this movie and like sort of bringing out a nasty side of them that I don't think anybody really wanted to admit they have, where suddenly they don't feel seen by a Pixar movie and they hate it. But like, I just think that people need to expand their net of relatability in like literally any way other than, you know, physically identifying with a character.
Mm-hmm.
Because like, I found this movie to be extremely relatable. I also don't think relatability is a necessity for movies. I do not think every movie has to relate to every single human being.
It really isn't. And then you think about all the movies, like this is going to like the PG-13 genre where the boy is like going through puberty and changes and trying things for the first time and finding Playboy. Like there's even PG movies where boys find their dad's magazine under the bed or stupid
Oh my
stuff
God.
like that.
Thank God for the internet.
True.
But there's so many movies about that girls, I mean, like I laugh at it. I think those scenes are funny, but it's not like I can relate to that. So like seeing Mei Lee drawing in her journal because like that was her little escapism, I was like, that's more like it.
Well, and
My
yeah,
girl.
No,
I've
my
talked
girl.
to multiple women in the past day that were just like, oh, well, I was X different age in 2002, so I don't really get this movie. And I'm like, yeah, you really don't get this movie.
Right.
It didn't matter that it was 2002.
Right. It's like, I don't care. Hey, it's not like they're listening to a boy band, right? Like we all listened to NSYNC. It doesn't matter what age you were.
We all heard One Direction. Like,
right. Like
We all had the Joe Bros. Well, not
actually,
all
you
of
know,
us.
that one I think I kind of missed.
Yeah, I definitely missed it.
Really?
I
I'm
wasn't
so
a Disney
sorry.
guy. And they weren't like actual musicians until a few years ago.
That Year 3000 song does rip though.
I mean, sure, but
Yeah.
that wasn't like
And that's
that
a
wasn't
cover.
that
That's
wasn't
not their original.
mainstream. They're not Maroon 5. They are now, but
True. No, I think Burn It Up made it pretty far. I don't think
think
that
you're
was
right.
just
There was-
exclusive to
they
Disney
were-
Channel.
they
That
were-
one made it far.
They were bigger than Disney Channel, but they weren't.
Yeah.
they weren't Miley
Like-
Cyrus.
They were bigger than Miley Cyrus when Miley Cyrus was Miley Cyrus.
So at that time, they were definitely bigger than Miley Cyrus. She was stuck on Disney Channel. That's why she had to break out and do her crazy stuff. They were starting to venture out, but then Disney
The
like
Best
got
of Both
claws
Worlds is a
back.
bigger song than any Jonas Brothers song.
Mm.
Sorry.
No, the theme song?
Yeah.
No, the first
Not
one she had
until-
that really, I think, blew up was the one that's like, and I'm heading away. The last time I freaked out,
Yeah.
I just kept looking down.
I think that got more popular. I think that got more popular in recent years. Her first one really to get big, I think, was Party in the USA.
That one was like a multi.
That was the song I was
hit.
forgetting.
And
that is
was
definitely bigger
post
than any
Hannah
Jonas Brothers song ever.
but that was post Hannah Montana. If we're still talking when they were like totally
Yeah.
Disney.
I
That
think
was-
she should put out a Hannah Montana album.
Right. But then like when Miley Cyrus is out there making music like that, the Jonas Brothers promptly fucked off into the distance
They
for-
did.
10 years.
And then made a major comeback.
They sure did. I mean, that was their best record by far.
Oh.
What?
I'm so glad you made that joke. I'm so glad you made that joke. How I
Oh,
Met
did you
Your
say
Mother
major
for Life.
comeback?
Yeah.
Did.
I missed it. Yeah. Sorry.
How I Met Your Mother for Life. Let's go.
That is
Have
a
you
joke
guys
from a
heard the
sitcom that will stick with me forever.
Have you guys heard the news about the How I Met Your Father finale?
No?
There was
What?
a How I Met Your Mother cameo in it. Who
Shut
do you
up.
think it was?
I haven't watched the episode yet, though.
Oh, are you watching it?
I am watching it.
Oh,
I did not think I would like it, and then I was hooked.
I'm
okay.
sure I will like it whenever I watch it, but I think it's over, right? Like it's not.
I
It
don't
was like
know.
a mini series.
I don't know. I don't really see how they could keep it going. Like it feels like the father's already really been revealed, so I'm like,
That's what we thought about Robin too. Okay, so
it's true. So they could string it along for many seasons, but
And just absolutely ruin the ending.
yeah, we don't really talk fully about the ending. But
I've got a joke. Hold on, I'm gonna stop everything because it's about
please.
Turning Red. You know, like there's a song in Encanto called "We Don't Talk About Bruno," right? And then like Bruno is a character in the movie. They talk about him a lot, like all the time. Also in Luca, they talk about like Silencio Bruno. They made Turning Red like about a little girl entering puberty. And they literally could have thrown a song in there called "We Don't Talk About Periods" because they've never fucking done that.
Unfortunately, this was not a musical.
Yes, it is. They sing in Cantonese. There's
Yeah, I mean-
Four Town.
Fundamentally, this is like, I've made this argument before about how some movies feel like Pixar movies, some movies feel like Disney movies. Like this does not feel like a Pixar movie to me.
Mm-mm.
Disagree. This absolutely does. This is Luca all over it.
It felt more to me. I mean, not
That's like, okay, that's like going, oh man, if there's a big difference between ducks and rabbits, right? And you're like, man, these geese, they sure do hop.
I was in our old stomping grounds this weekend and I saw the Newport News geese.
Oh, fuck those geese.
Dude, they were everywhere. I even saw Lake Asshole, which was like a cathartic experience. In our old house.
Were there for some reason geese on the lake?
Yeah, and muskrats and
God, those geese made me late for work like 5 times.
Candace, I hope you've been enlightened by this conversation.
absolutely.
Your reaction to what we just said is exactly what I'm hoping from the listeners. When we get like hyper specific about something, there's no possible way they could know.
Yeah, 3 people got that joke, maybe.
And we're 2 of them.
Okay, sorry.
The other is
I-
Chase and Frank. Shout out Frank.
I didn't have geese struggles like you guys, but I did have to struggle with turkeys trying to get to school. They like frequented my high school campus and would block the roads in hordes. It would be like 6 to 12 turkeys just slowly walking across the road, blocking your way so you couldn't get to school.
That sucks. I do want you to imagine, if you will, close your eyes and take yourself back to a place where you see you're driving in your car. It's a late model Honda Civic. It's not like bells and whistles or anything. AC, it's not working as well as it used to. And you're driving to school and you come up to the stop sign, and where usually you sometimes see 6 turkeys, today there are 600.
It's too many.
Okay.
That is way too many geese.
I just wanted to get you
Way
guys to
too many
imagine
geese.
600 turkeys.
That's way too many geese.
Ethan, were you there? Did you close your eyes?
No, I didn't know
What
I was supposed to
street-
be doing it.
What street did you picture, Ethan?
I didn't. I didn't
Can I
know
tell you what
the
I
exercise
pictured?
was for me.
Can I tell you what I pictured?
This was a group project.
You know that like last possible right on Chaparral you can take?
Which direction?
So like not from Chaparral, like you're turning on to Chaparral before the high school. There's a right turn you can take there. You take Hummingbird, and there's kind of like a cross street. You come up the hill.
Yeah.
And on Chaparral, you turn
Okay.
right. You're at the high school. That's where I was.
There.
There were 600 turkeys in my imagination.
600 turkeys. That's a lot of turkeys.
It's a lot of turkeys.
What the hell are we talking about?
Turkeys in the
Or Town. Did you guys like the songs?
No,
I love
Me
them.
neither. Oh, me too. They're great.
I did not at all.
I loved them because they were like they were terrible, intentionally written to be like really crappy, vague lines.
Okay,
And
but like
but
the
they-
Backstreet Boys has bangers, bro.
they do, but not all boy bands are alike, and not all boy bands were good like Backstreet Boys. Like we had our good ones, but there were definitely boy bands.
We also
that
had
were
98
not.
degrees.
We also had the early Jonas Brothers.
And 5.
But that's the thing. It was middle school girls would just eat up the fact that their boys vaguely saying that you're perfect just the way that you are, like not giving any very specific details, but like saying like
Right.
you're whatever. But they got the melodies right. They got it really did feel like it was an early 2000s band. Do you guys know who wrote the music?
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
It was not. It was actually Billie Eilish and Phineas.
I knew that actually.
They wrote the boy band songs.
Yeah, that tracks.
It
I
does.
did know that.
He also is one of the singers. I don't remember which one.
I
but
was
he's
actually
one of-
thoroughly unimpressed with the singing specifically.
Again, I don't think it was really meant to be, because there were some boy bands that were, there's not a high range up and low. Although that one at the end that hit the high note, that's Jordan Fisher there. He
Yeah.
Was it really?
he went the extra mile on that
Well, that
last
guy
song.
can sing for sure.
Yeah. The other yeah. But it was I liked the music. I liked just that it was exactly what a middle school girl would fawn over. It's exactly what they would want. And what are you drumming out to? What are you thinking of, Tyler?
He does.
So I
this.
listened to a song by 5, and it got me thinking about Bare Naked Ladies. So now I'm listening to 1 Week, and this has got such a nice little drum beat. It's kind of more over here, but I like to do the full kit.
Who is 5?
They were a boy band.
What did they sing? I do not remember them.
I listened to their top streamed song, and I had never heard it before, so I have no idea.
Fair.
But I know Ben Jam had their CD.
Okay. Fair.
Oh, dude, we need to wrap the show.
Do we? No way.
Time
Yeah,
flies. You're
we're at
having a good
110.
time. Time flies.
Time to be flying. Especially since you're in like the future, Candace.
I
It's
literally
already-
I have no concept of time here in Portugal. I really don't know anything anymore.
Are you? Why are you? Are you just there to like party and get rad, or are you doing like skate stuff?
rad, bro?
You think I have a social life? No, I
I
came
do
here-
assume that you have a social life. I don't know why. I just
Yeah, you're from
you seem
California.
cool
I
to
assume
me.
that you do cool stuff
Oh,
all
yeah.
the time.
You've been to like
No.
Coachella and stuff.
I actually haven't, but
Burning Man.
nope.
I don't see Candace as a Burning Man type person.
No. I'm here for training. So I went to the city of Sesimbra, which is just south of Lisbon, for a seminar that was for like judges, coaches, and technicians. And that was over the weekend. And then I flew north to the city of Porto, and I am in Porto, Matosinus area for training. So this is day 2 of training and my body is tired, but it's going well.
Are you going to like lose sleep because of us? Are you going to have to be
No.
like, I was talking to 2 grown American men I've never met before about my period for 2 hours. That's why I'm so tired, coach.
No, training isn't until the afternoon, so I can sleep in tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll be good. No worries. And there's plenty of caffeine here in Europe. Like every corner, you can get decent espresso. So,
Oh, yeah.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
The dream.
I sure would love that. You can get not very good espresso almost nowhere here.
Yeah, it's really nice to go down the street and not see a Starbucks on every corner. It's a little refreshing, but yeah.
I do. Yeah, dude. Even like, you're in like a real foreign country, but I was at Disney World 2 weeks ago,
Which isn't a foreign country at all.
I
Which
mean,
is the
it
same
feels
country.
like it.
But
It feels like
they
it.
have Joffrey's coffee everywhere in the parks, except for where there is a Starbucks in the parks, and it always feels gross. Like when you go, like the first thing you see, Main Street, USA, Castle, Starbucks, feels wrong, feels gross.
Disney.
But they have big giant
Starbucks.
Mickey donuts. I bet they don't have those in Belgium or wherever you are, Portugal,
Very different than Belgium.
whatever.
No,
Europe.
I haven't seen Mickey donuts, but I'll just get one when I go home.
You get yeah, but that's
Disneyland.
Disneyland. The
Yes.
parking lot at Epcot is bigger than Disneyland. Okay.
Okay, but Disneyland is superior. This is a whole other money.
Disagreed.
No.
But I've never been. Have you been to Disney World?
Yes, I've been to Disney World.
Have we had
And-
this discussion?
No, I don't think so, but
Okay.
I have been to both. And I have a friend from Florida who's like a Disney World diehard. He came last year to Disneyland. I gave him the full tour, and at the end he was like, yeah, it's better. So I have proof from someone who is a Disney World Epcot diehard that Disneyland's better.
I guess I'll need to go to both parks a lot, and then I'll make my decision.
You don't even need to go a lot. He did one day. We hit
Yeah,
all the
well,
things in one day. That's the
If
joy
you
of
can
Disney.
hit all of the things in one day,
That-
maybe that's like a better theme park, but like Disney's you know what I'm saying? Like
I get it. Because Disney
I don't want to be
World-
able to do everything in one day.
Well, that was us hitting all the main points. We didn't do all the fine lines. If you're really going to take your time, one day per park is
Well,
like-
then, yeah, I'm sure
Wow.
California Space Mountain is better than Carousel of Progress. Like, duh. And some days that's just what you do.
Tyler, you you can't talk shit about the Carousel of Progress. They'll
Oh,
hurt us.
I'm not
They
talking
will
shit about
hurt
Carousel
us.
of Progress. Although I will say,
They will hurt.
Carousel of Progress, I'm just going to bring it up right now. As long as we're talking about women maturing, Carousel of Progress handles this terribly. The
It
teenage
does.
daughter starts to turn into a woman, and like Tom Ford, who's sitting in the chair, is like, "Oh, look, my daughter's hot now." It's like, man, what the hell are you saying?
Tom Ford, the fashion designer.
No, well, that's yeah. Tom James is the other fashion designer. I don't know what the name is, the guy in Carousel of Progress, but I remember watching it and being like, "This is a really messed up way to talk to your teenage daughter." And I would prefer if you did not do this. I do not like it. And I know you can
don't
update
like
this
it.
because it's absolutely been updated. I can see that this scene takes place in the past, in the 80s, and this was built in the 50s. So you did something. It
Was not built in the 50s.
was built whenever the World's Fair was. The New York.
The Carousel of Progress at Disney World. Disney World didn't exist in the 50s.
It's from the World's Fair.
Okay.
That's where that's where it came from. The World's
That's
Fair,
not how
the one your dad
rides
worked.
work, though. Like,
That's the one your dad did. Right? That was the thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
When does Carousel of Progress end timeline wise? Isn't it when the Macintosh is created? Isn't that the end of Carousel of Progress, if I remember correctly?
There was no Macintosh in it, but it does seem relatively updated.
So it had been updated since its original conception / creation.
Yes.
Yeah, they changed the song at one point.
Okay.
It used to be
they
something
could've
completely
changed.
different from whatever it is now.
So yeah,
Give
opened
us the details.
1964-65 New York World's Fair
Okay.
under the name Progress Land.
But then it was
Disney.
updated and Disney has it now. And
And it's been there
when was
since
the last time it was
72.
really updated? Because last time I rode that thing, it ended and I was like, is that it? Is that where Progress
I did
ended?
feel that way. So I
Like,
don't
is
know.
this where it
Here's
ends?
my thing. I was thinking about this the other day. The It's a Small World After All ride has contributed quite a bit to the overall smallness of the world.
Carry on.
It's a
Where we
cultural touchstone, right? Like everybody knows about it. Everybody knows about it. That
True.
inherently makes the world smaller because it's a shared experience between people.
Betwixt.
Betwixt.
Left twixt or right twixt?
So like when it's a small world after all, it's like it's a small world after all. It's like, yeah, it's your fucking fault.
I
You
hope.
made it smaller.
Yeah, you made,
You made
it smaller.
it that much
Walt.
smaller.
You made it
Small
smaller,
world.
ride.
Walter.
Well, I mean, the ride has kept going.
Walt's
Walt's
let
been
me
dead
tell
for a
you
long
this.
time and it still runs.
Does Disneyland have Los Tres Caballeros?
No, you do have them. We don't have them.
Exactly.
They also have the Incredicoaster.
And Guardians.
Guardians is opening in Epcot.
No, you're getting a different one.
Whatever.
Are
You guys
are
have you guys have the Marvel Land, the
We do have Avengers Campus. It's pretty cool.
and the character actors.
That's
Okay.
that's kind of the best part about it, and they're all really good at their jobs. So
Yeah.
I fully believe that that's Thor walking next to me, and I'm like, hi.
But
And then you draw him as a mermaid.
And then I go home and draw him as a mermaid. Exactly.
And you're how old?
Exactly.
25?
13.
I mean, I think Chris Hemsworth is more older than you than the guys the guy in the convenience store was than her.
No, he's like 3 years older. He's like a high schooler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Hemsworth is like 30 something. Easy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
honestly, even though Candace is 25, it's like weirder for her to be
It
drawing
is,
Chris
yeah.
Hemsworth as a mermaid.
Yeah. So Ethan, when I was sketching cheetahs in 6th grade, I was actually drawing how I imagined you.
I
Wow.
quit the podcast. Candace, you're the host now. Have fun.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Let's actually wrap. Let's do that.
Okay. On that note, on that furry note,
We didn't even talk about the panda. Oh, we didn't even talk about the pacing issues. Ethan, while you calculate scores, Candace and I are going to talk about why we hated the pacing in this movie. Candace, I'll
for
tell
the
you
record,
straight
also
up.
hated the pacing.
I'll tell you straight up. This movie felt rushed in a weird way. Like a lot of times my issue with pacing is that 2 hours feels like 4 hours. But in this case, it was like an hour and 45 minutes feels like 45 minutes. And I didn't really get to know the panda at all. It showed up and then it was gone.
it was only an hour 25. I was actually surprised when I put it on that it was that short. But yeah, I think they rushed through. Like I already mentioned, they rushed through the antes. Like that could have been so much more. Their designs, everything about them was amazing, and they could have gotten
good.
into more details about their pandas because they talked about the moms a little bit. But I wanted to know more about that and their experiences. Like,
And give me a reason why the mom's is 100 feet tall.
everyone's is different. Everyone has a different experience, so they were all a little bit different in their own ways. But no, I think that was a big thing that they could have taken more time on. They gave the friends the right amount of time. They gave middle school the right amount of time. But the aunties and honestly just getting to know the panda a little more. Not like we needed a whole like superhero tries out their new abilities sequence or montage, but we could have gotten a little bit more out of her embracing the panda.
Fair. Yeah. No, I'm 100% with that. The antis were some of my favorite part in the whole of the ancestors team. I think Sandra Oh did so good in this movie.
Oh my goodness, she was fantastic.
The mom was one of my favorite characters. Like, she cracked me up the whole time.
Yeah, and then made you cry at the end.
Yeah.
That was one of the best parts of the film, was seeing like the younger version of her. I liked how they showed the mom when they're walking back over to that moment where you can separate from your panda.
Yeah.
Just that progression of the mom was really cool to see. And the mom crying was, yeah, it was a magical moment.
Makes you feel bad for all those people who never had that moment with their mom. You know, they just let this continue to fester.
It's a lot of people. Hopefully this movie kind of helps to break down those barriers. And
there's been a lot of negative reviews for this movie of people being like, I can't show this movie to my kids because it'll teach them not to listen to me. And it's like,
I saw that.
You got fucking bigger problems than that, man. Hey, let me tell you what, your kid ain't gonna listen to you regardless of what Pixar says if you act like that.
Yeah.
Nope. And then
all these Pixar movies are lessons for parents more than they are for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I pointed out to Tyler this morning that he is, or maybe it was yesterday, that he said that about the last 4 Pixar movies that have come out. And I said, maybe they have a point, like a reason. Maybe you're old and they've all been for you as well.
I am old.
You know, if your kid wants to be Speed, you can't stop him.
Gotta let him be Speed.
It depends upon his like method of becoming Speed.
You gotta let him be Speed, man.
If he's
One
like
winner,
that,
41 losers.
I want to be Speed.
Let
and
him be.
And I mean the cocaine kind. I actually do get to intervene at that point and be like, no.
Sure.
No.
But let me tell you, he didn't learn that from Pixar.
He's got to eat losers
Not yet, at least.
He's got to eat losers for breakfast. Absolutely.
I mean, they made it through a whole movie about a jazz pianist without anybody doing drugs on screen. So
Pixar's next movie. Oh God, this joke would have been so funny if I could think of the name of the freaking book, the Beth Macy book.
Dope Sick.
Pixar's next movie, Dope Sick.
Yeah.
About the cocaine and
about
crystal meth usage in Appalachia.
Yeah.
Disney does Euphoria.
About an anthropomorphized heroin needle.
Right. What if heroin could feel?
Yeah, what if heroin had feelings?
All right. I have the Tyler score. I think I said 84. Ethan said 85. Rotten Tomatoes said 95. Metacritic said 86. Rotten Tomatoes audience, which is you, Candace, today. You said 72, I think.
I said 79.
No, 79.
Yeah.
Yep. Which means all I need is the listener score.
It is an 84.
84. People must have been giving it high scores on Facebook because Discord looked relatively negative. That gives it an 85.75, which rounds up to an 86, which beats White Christmas and loses to The Batman.
The lowest score on Discord was a 70, and the second lowest score was an 86.
Huh. Never mind then. I'm wrong.
Maybe you're just thinking about all the
it's Pixar, right? Like, it doesn't
posts.
matter if it's good or not. People are going to rate it highly. Candace, any final thoughts on this episode, on this movie, on life?
Gosh.
On the state of the world? No, not on the state of the world.
That's a lot.
Sorry. I don't want to have your thoughts on the state of the world, honestly. Candace, tell us how you feel about the war.
No, Candace, do not. We're not doing it.
Feel about everything. Just tell us how everything is. Everything's fine. I watched this movie last night. I'm still thinking about it. I'm going to still continue thinking about it. I'm probably going to rewatch it at some point soon. But I'm just glad a movie like this exists. I love so much about it. And you can tell a lot of personal like detail and heart and soul went into it from the creators. You can tell very obviously that it was a female-led movie. Yeah. Because it wasn't something where it was like, oh, we're going to flash a tampon and now we're female friendly. It was very grounded in that female puberty experience. And it was done in a way that was a classy, nice, fun metaphor that kids can understand, but also something that adults that have been through puberty are like, yeah, that hits the nail on the head.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad this exists. And I really hope it's something that parents can use to introduce ideas and things about puberty kids.
And
So.
I definitely like having more, like, I know that I complained a little bit about the like sort of less Pixar-iness about this movie, but I do kind of like having Pixar movies that don't really sort of beat you over the head with the thing, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's nice to, I don't want to call it lower stakes, but like it definitely is, but also it's higher stakes because it's like a monster that destroys a building, and that rarely happens in Pixar. But like, more of Woody's life was altered than Domi Shi's, not Domi Shi, that's the director. Then Mei Ling Lee's direct life was.
yes.
You know, and so I'm cool with that. I like these like kind of smaller Pixar movies. So I feel the same way about Luca, right? Like Luca was the exact same, right? It's about a bike race.
Yeah.
It's no stakes.
Yeah. This was about getting to a concert.
And so like this is probably my fourth favorite Pixar movie that's come out in the last 2 years, but like that is just an absolute embarrassment of riches.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much when it comes to the Pixar universe, world of movies, and they're just proving that they can do things on a large scale and on a small scale. They can take big concepts, and they can take movie concepts that break your mind, literally like Inside Out, or they can do something that's so subtle and so nicely done.
Well, and those most recent 4 Pixar movies really feel like they're starting to let the style drive.
Yes.
Which is very cool because like they have looked very different and have like sort of catered more to a specific existing genre. Like they're starting to make genre films, honestly.
Yeah.
You know?
I love it. I love
which is
it
crazy.
so
I'm looking forward to like the Pixar horror movie directed by Jordan Peele.
It's called Yep.
It's called Yep. It's extremely positive. It's called Get In. Come in, please.
Get in.
It's called You.
No, it's called
Penn Badgley. It's called
We.
They actually just get a bunch of clones to contribute to Hands Across America. Cool.
Oh, man.
Well, Candace, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. Thank you for coming to us from sunny Portugal.
Always.
Is it cold there? I feel like it's cold there.
So it is right now, and it's it's been overcast the whole time, which is a bummer because I'm in beach cities. So
yeah.
But I do get to see some crazy waves because this is one of the most popular areas for wild waves.
That's
Surfers
cool.
come. Yeah. So
Are you
today
a
I looked
surfer?
up to.
I mean, you're from California, right? So like you obviously know how to surf.
I've been on a board like twice.
More than me.
I kind of just hang out there.
Yeah, that's infinitely more than I have.
Yeah, they're not my boards. I just kind of use whatever anyone else has. But it's just cool to see waves that are massive and like look at the water and be like, yeah, I'm not in any time soon gonna get in water like that. But it's cool to watch, and you go, damn, nature, you're scary as
Damn, nature, you scary.
Damn, nature, you scary.
Like the vine.
And with that TikTok reference.
Yeah, and with that TikTok reference, it's time for us to end. This has been another episode of Bacon and Eggs. Our graphics are by Faison Van and Brand. Just gonna start that whole thing over. Just give it another.
You almost had it. You almost had
run at it. This has been another episode of Bacon and Eggs. Our graphics are by Vaishon Brendan. Vaishon Designs on Instagram, and our music's by Andrew Scott Bell. AndrewScottBellMusic.com. For more podcasts like the one you're listening to, head to WBNE.org and check care of any of our great shows. Take out any of our great shows. Anywhere podcasts are sold or given away for free. This week's episode of Bacon and Eggs is brought to you by Perspective Z, because that was the one I was looking for. The one where a bunch of kids, and by a bunch of kids I mean 2 at this point,
young women,
full young adults, talk to you about what Generation Z cares about, and it's fantastic, and you should go listen to it. There's a preview for it right now. My name's Ethan Edgehill, and on behalf of Tyler Carlin and Candace Clifford, this has been Bacon and Eggs. And until next time, arrivederci.
Are you kidding me? I'm a big red panda.